how glorious the bright sun is shining on this longed-for day when I finally get to lay my 2 hands on that woman, my wife. And yet I came to Troy, not as most people think for her alone, but her primarily, but to exact revenge against the man. I guess I honored in my very home, who then betrayed me, stealing my wife away. Well, he's gotten his just desserts, I can tell you that. Thanks to the gods, the Greek spear was the last thing he and his homeland felt before they fell. But now that's over with. And here I am. For her, the Spartan, I can't even bring myself to say her name, though I was married to her once. She's just another Trojan woman, a prisoner among prisoners, a slave. And those who fought on my behalf have given her back to me, to kill or bring her alive to Argos, if that's what I want to do. I have decided not to bother myself with Helen's death here, but to sail back to Greece with her and kill her there in punishment for all the friends who fell beside me on the plains of Troy. Men, go inside and get her. Bring her out. Drag her by the hair, so many died for her. When the wind is right, we'll take home to Greece.
O you who somehow cup the whole earth, yet have your sin upon it, you boundless mystery called Zeus, whether you are the fixed law of nature or man's mind, whoever you are, I invoke you, for walking your own way in silence, you guide the tangled affairs of men toward the path of justice.
A strange way to pray to the gods, if it's even a prayer.
You're right to want to kill your wife, Menelaus, but whatever you do, don't look at her. Don't look at her eyes. They ambush with desire. They snare the eyes of men, and as for her, she's hell for cities, burning hell for homes. Her power will trick you into helplessness. You and I, we suffered from her charm, the way so many others have. We know.
How could you treat me like this just for your reunited? How could you let your flunkies put your filthy hands on me and drag me here? Oh, you must really hate me. Tell this, Annie. I want to ask you something. Have the Greeks decided if I live or die?
No, not precisely. But the army did turn you over to me, expecting I would kill you, since I am the one you betrayed.
May I respond to that? May I try to show you that it would be unjust if you did kill me?
I came here to see you die, not to hear you speak.
Let her speak, Menelaus. She shouldn't die without a hearing. But let me be the one to cross-examine her. I know better than you how she has made choice suffer. A free debate will kill her. She'll have no escape.
This will take time, but if she wants to talk, she may do so. Make no mistake, though. I'm granting her this opportunity because of you, for your sake, not hers.
You hate me so much that maybe you won't listen to anything I say, no matter how well I say it. Nevertheless, I know exactly what you would accuse me of if I did speak, and I have arguments in my defense. First, Paris was the cause of all our trouble. This woman here is her mother, so she's the trouble. She's the mother of the trouble. Secondly, her husband, the old king, led to Troy's downfall, and mine be letting him live. The infant, Alexander, as he was called then, the murderous firebrand Hecuba dreamed of. Think about what happened after that. Paris judged the contest of 3 goddesses. Pallas Athena afforded them glory in battle, leading the Trojan army to victory over Greece. Hera promised he'd rule over Asia and all of Europe if the contest went her way, of course. And struck with wonder at my incomparable appearance, Aphrodite promised me to him if he would say she far surpassed the other goddesses in beauty. Consider what followed after that. Aphrodite won and married Paris, and Greece reaped the benefit. Barbarians have taken you in thrall either through warfare or time/. And yet, what's given Greece such great good luck has only meant bad luck for me. Was brokered for my beauty and hated by the very ones who ought to crown my head in gratitude. I know you will say I haven't addressed the major charge against me, my alleged elopement. I did escape in secret from our house, I admit that. But listen, when Paris or Alexander or Hecuba's wageful bane, whatever you want to call him, when he came here, Aphrodite, no meager goddess, was right there by his side. And this was the man you left me alone with, you fool, in your own house when you sailed off the Crete. But I must ask myself, not you, about what happened next. What was I thinking when I followed him, that stranger from my home, betraying home and country? Blame the goddess for this, not me. Go punish her if you think you're mightier than Zeus, who lords it over all the other gods, but himself is a slave to her. Oh, I can just see what you're thinking now. The empty argument you'll bring against me once Paris was dead and buried, and the god-made marriage was dissolved. Why didn't I leave his house and return to the Argoships? I did. I kept trying to leave. The tower guards will tell you, for they saw me, and the watchmen from the walls, they saw me too, and often caught me as I tried myself down to the battlements by rope. Oh, and my husband. Oh, then, would it be just to keep me? Paris took me by force. I was more slave than a bride. Oh, I won't but slavery. This was all God's fault. Your desire to overrule is dangerously stupid.
First, I'll defend the goddesses against this woman's libellous attack. Would Hera, or the virgin goddess Pallas Athena, ever be so incredibly foolish as to either sell out Argos to the barbarians, or let Athenians become the slaves of Troy? I don't believe it for a second. I don't believe the goddesses would come to Ida for games, much less for a silly Miss Olympus competition. Why would Hera even be concerned with being beautiful? So she can snare a husband better than Zeus? Is Athena now on the lookout for a spouse, despite her having asked her father once to let her stay a virgin, because she hated marriage? Don't gloss over your own bad actions by making the gods out to be fools. You won't persuade anyone with any common sense. You claim that Aphrodite accompanied my son to Menelaus' house, which is such a laughable idea, since she is a god and could have stayed right where she was in heaven, and still transported you and all of Amyclea as well to Troy if she desired. Let's face it, my son was the handsomest of men. You saw him, and instantly your mind itself turned into Aphrodite, who, after all, is just a name we give to lust run wild. It's no coincidence that witless rhymes with Cyprus. Yes, you saw my son dressed up in Asian splendor, his gold all glittering, and you fell hard for him. He made you crazy. He made you chaffe against your austere life in Argos, and dream of getting free of Sparta, so the flesh fluid of your opulent appetites could level the rich city of Troy. Menelaus' palace was too small. It cramped your riotous desires. Well then, you say that my son dragged you off by force? If that is so, what Spartan woman saw you? Did you cry out? Your young twin brothers, Castor and Pollux, weren't they still at home? Not yet ascended to the stars? Why didn't they help you? And don't forget how you behaved in Troy. When the Greeks tracked you down and the bloody war had started, your heart turned with the tide of battle. When the Greeks got the upper hand, you taunted my son by praising Menelaus, saying what a glorious warrior he was, what a superior lover. But when the Trojans did well, it was as if you didn't know who Menelaus was. In other words, you had no loyalty to anyone, but followed fortune, drifting where it went. You claimed that you attempted to escape, that you would secretly shinny down the walls by rope, and that we kept you here against your will. So why did no one ever find you with a noose around your neck, or sharpening a sword that you could fall on? the kind of deed a noble woman heartsick for her absent husband would have surely done. The fact is, time and time again I told you, leave us, my daughter. There are other girls my sons can marry. I'll help you sneak away. I'll take you secretly to the Achaean ships. Please end this war between the Greeks and Trojans. You spurned me. You spurned my advice. Your need for adoration overran the palace. We, to your eyes all barbarians, couldn't bow down enough before you. That's all you wanted. And after all of this, you have the nerve, you monster, you brazen witch, to come out here, tricked out in all your finery, to breathe the same air your husband breathed. It would have been more fitting had you appeared in filthy rags, your head shaped trembling, humbled by fear. Given your many crimes, you should be drowned in shame, not basking in arrogance. Menelaus, I'm finished speaking. You heard my argument. Now crown your country's honor with a deed worthy of your own, and kill this woman. You'll make her an example to all other wives, that anyone who betrays her husband dies.
I'm completely on your side, Mr. Bacon. This woman freely exchanged my home for a stranger, my bed for his. She invokes Aphrodite as a smokescreen. So go you, go find people who kill you by stoning, who see to it that you pay in one instant for all Greeks' long labors. Revenge at last for all the Greeks have suffered. Dying, you learn not to shame and dishonor me.
I'm on my knees. For the grandson, those evils that don't deserve to die, please forgive me.
Keep faith with all the comrades she has killed. I beg you for their sake and for their children.
Be quiet, Hecuba. I haven't listened to a word she said. I'm ordering my men to take her to the ships for the journey home.
But don't let her sail on the same ship with you.
Why not? Has she gained weight? Is she too heavy now?
When a lover falls hard, he falls for good.
That depends on how the blow behaves. Still, what you suggest makes sense, and I agree. That she should travel on another ship, and when we get to Argos, she will die. The wretched death a slut like her deserves. I'll make an example to all women to be faithful. No easy thing to do, I know. But her death will check their foolishness with fear, even the ones more shameless than herself.